have with us James Royal. Are you all right there, James? Can you hear me on that sound system?
Pardon?
Yeah. Can you hear me there?
Yes, hearing you well.
Lovely.
Bomb aimer to
All right.
pilot.
And if you just get him in line with the mic there.
That's kind.
Yes.
How's it?
Excellent.
Thank you.
So we have James. You live in Australia now, James Royal.
I do.
But you did record here back in the 60s.
I did.
What year would that be?
Oh, blimey. 1803. It would have been late 60s, early 70s.
So that'd be 69, 70.
Yeah, 67 through to about 72.
Okay, and you were with CBS Records.
That's right, yeah.
When
that was in the UK. In other countries are with other labels. That one you've got there, that's French produced.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You know, it looks very, very attractive, and that's you on the front there.
I hope
James Roy looks nothing like you.
No, I know. I was young then.
I know. Yes, it happens to us all, James. And this is funny. It's called Magic Records.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I like that.
It's a compilation thing that our wonderful French friends did for us.
Yeah, no, they've done it well.
They've done a very good
James
job,
Roy.
yeah.
So we're going to play this. Call My Name. Did you write your own songs? Shall I call you Jim?
Yeah, call me Jim. I'm just Joe Bloggs to everybody else. Yeah, Jim's good. Yeah, no, I had a couple of attempts at writing, but I wasn't really crash shot on that. So,
I mean, record contracts don't just happen overnight. How did that happen? You did live gigs, somebody saw you, you had a manager.
The usual story. I was a young guy with stars in my eyes, and a lot of people spoke about taking me in the studio with my little band I had then, which was a good little band.
What was the band called?
James Royal Set.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because there will be people around the world who will probably remember you.
Well, I hope not, because I owe a lot of money.
I know, it could be difficult.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so we better not say which area or your address.
I spread around Europe quite a bit. I actually had a number 8 in Phoenix, Arizona.
No, that happens.
I know.
You know, you're big in one place and then somewhere else.
It happened to me in France, Belgium and Spain. And in a small effect, Germany. They all, when they saw me coming.
He put the right arm up there. Are you getting this on the... lovely, excellent, yeah. I like it. All right, so what we're going to do to put everybody in the mood now, we're going to play one of your tunes.
You're going to scare them.
We should have that lined up there. And here it is.
I remember this.
Call my name when you're lonely.
It sounds like in between the record there, you've done a few things.
Some things we don't talk about.
No.
But yeah, in a short period, you see...
Well, when you say some things we don't talk about, I mean, what do you mean by that? The listeners want to know now, won't
they? The naughty side of the show business.
What would that be?
Look, we were all young, like we were all looking for the big stars, and... you mixed around with certain people, and they'd be taking the old Bob Hope, and you join in with them.
This would be like 66, 67.
Yeah, when the Who were really first going, right? Because I used to knock about with John and Mooney quite a lot. I used to take them to gigs and go to John's parties, stuff like that. Well, Mooney... I mean, he was a lovely guy. He was a complete and absolute great guy.
A complete nutter, I know.
But an absolute lunatic.
Yes.
And
it wasn't an act.
No. It was a true movie, yeah.
The only time I ever saw Keith really be sort of quite humble was down at Bournemouth. Because, he originally came from there.
Yeah.
I know he lived in Wembley and all that.
That's right, yeah.
But anyway, the long and the short of it was, I was the compere of the Beach Boys tour. And he turned up at the stage door, and I was just lurking about. It was at Bournemouth, and I said, "What are you doing here, Keith?" And he said, "I've come to see the Beach Boys." Now, at that point, he'd never met them. I went, "I'm the compere of this show." I went, I said, "Your timing couldn't have been better." I said, "Come." I mean, he was Keith Moon anyway. So I said, "It'll be fine." Anyway, I took him through and introduced him to the boys, and they were delighted to meet him. And I said, "You'll be playing with the boys tonight, won't you?" And he did, in fact. And then afterwards, he took everybody out. In fact, he organised the coach.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? I think we had our own coach and everything. They had everything with them.
Yeah.
And we went somewhere, and it was great. So, yes, don't start me off on Keith Moon, I know that. But let's talk about you. So, what were you doing? Were you driving Keith around? I mean, what was the score?
Oh, look, I mean, these are the early days of my career,
Yeah.
and the Who in those days were the High Numbers, the Detours.
That's right. You do know they are, yeah.
And I knew John and Keith anyway very well. Pete was an intellect. It was very hard to get into, but we were good mates. But Roger, I mean, okay, fair enough, he did good stuff for you, but he always came across.
Well, they both have. I mean, because I come from Shepherd's Bush.
Well, I'm from Ealing, so
That's up the
we're
road,
neighbours.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know Michael's Man Boutique then, or not Man Boutique?
Yeah, I knew Michael's. I used to get me gear there.
Well, I didn't actually work in that shop. I worked in their acting shop. But we are going back in time.
Well, Michael's, that's where I used to get all my gear. We used to get the band gear there.
Yeah, Roger. The Stones went into the Ealing shop.
They all did.
Funny enough.
Yeah.
But I never actually worked in that one. I worked in Carnaby Street later. But yes, I was in the fashion game.
Carnaby Street was good. We used to...
yes.
We did that...
Those were the days, my friend.
We did that television thing. Remember Ready, Steady, Win?
Yes.
And we were told... This shows you how bent the business is. We were told at the final, because we made it through to the final, that we wouldn't get a first place. You're not going to get first. I thought, what? And there was a big riot in the studio. And anyway, we got third, which is fair enough. I think we ended up better than the other two lot. We got all good suits and all the bit, which set us up. We had a van and everything.
So who won that particular one?
The Bow Street Runners.
I remember them.
Yeah.
They used to come to my shop.
Oh.
There was a guy, I remember the Bow Street, they were very, very smart. God, I don't know what he played. I can't remember his name, but he was in the Bow Street Runners, and he wore gloves, and he was quite a gent.
Yeah,
and he
wouldn't
said to
have
me,
a clue. No,
I can remember him well because he was in the shop a lot.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, you've got to have you've got to have the flat.
Yeah.
You've got to have the car. You've got to have the phone. Then you get all the birds." I went,
That's
"Oh,
right.
is that how it works?" I just can't. I can see him, and I could show you his picture if we had a picture of him here.
Yeah.
But I do remember the Bow Street Runners, and they were quite a classy act at the time.
To say it on the radio, I know it's naughty, but I thought they were a load of CRAP.
Really?
Well, you see that show. Sorry, Runners. I expect you're lovely guys, but
they seemed all right.
That show. You see, we find out in the end. Like, we're thinking, oh yeah, let's go for it. But it was really stepping stones for those to be made up. It never happened. They never made it.
They didn't really, did they?
No.
They kind of were around. I don't know. Did they appear on Ready Steady Go? I can't even remember.
Oh, that was part of the deal. Yeah.
They did.
We all got a shot on that.
But I just remember the one guy coming in the shop, and he had a sporty type car, Sprite type car.
Okay.
It's coming back to me now.
I had a bike.
What?
Yeah, I had a really silver painted bike.
It's funny nagging on about cars here because you'll remember who Johnny Kidd.
Oh God, yes.
Well, he came to the shop one day and we were talking about the car he had outside.
Yeah.
It was a Triumph Herald convertible.
Yeah.
And I had one. I said, I've got one of those.
I had one.
Did you really?
Yeah, yellow one.
And we went outside and we were talking about the car.
Yeah.
Although I was a mega fan of Johnny, we didn't even talk about his music. It was just the car, because he was so into the car anyway. Carnaby Street was something else. Vince Taylor was another one.
I loved
turned
it.
up, down there.
I loved Carnaby Street. I was always there.
Really?
Yeah, I love Carnaby.
So you'll know who John Stevens
Oh, yeah,
was.
yeah. Well, that's where we got our whistles.
Well, that's who I worked for, John Stevens.
Is that right?
A small world, isn't it?
It was the main shop in Carnaby Street.
Well, he had 9 of them
That's right.
in the street, almost.
He made me... I had a 3-ply tonic, silver, beautiful. With the little lapel on the cuff and...
That's
beautiful.
right, they did make some very nice
Beautiful
suits.
suit.
No, you went to the right place.
Of course I did. Mate, I didn't muck about hello, John.
yeah, got a new motor. But no, absolutely great. So let's move on to the next one now. Was that your first recording for CBS?
It was. Yes, it was. It didn't release. It was escaped.
Did you have a manager get all this together for you, or did you do it yourself? Should we just play this and then we can talk about it afterwards? So
yes.
We have James Royal in the studio now, and it's well put together there. You can see that.
Oh yeah,
can't you?
oh yeah.
Excellent stuff. Right. Okay, Hey Little Boy.